Hi, this is Susie. I'm a certified twin flame ascension coach, and I also do readings for twin flames as well. Today we're going to do a reading for those of you who are going through a dark night of the soul on your twin flame journey, or an otherwise very difficult challenge that you're working through. We are going to pull cards from the Tarot of the Divine. You can see that right here. And yeah, it's going to be your traditional tarot reading. So we're going to pull our first card for the situation and just how you are being guided to really view the situation. What lens the divine wants you to see this situation through. Okay, I'm actually going to put this over here. The second card is going to be for your twin flame and revealing like what your twin flame is going through and really learning in this time period right now. Okay. And the third card is going to reveal what is your medicine here? What do you really need in order to heal through this dark night of the soul and come out on the other side and, you know, experience your peace, right? Your peace, your success, an expansion of love in your life. Like, what do you need to do or to address here? And if we need to pull a clarifying card here, we will do that too. Okay. Okay. So getting to our first card, which is going to point us to the divine perspective of the situation. We have the Four of Swords, and you know, this Tarot of the Divine is based on different mythologies and folklores and stories from cultures across time and space here on Earth. And this one is going to point to the Norse mythology of, and I hope I'm saying this right, Fenrir, the wolf, right? That's like trapped and caught in Norse mythology, which you don't have to know the specific mythology of it. I only have like a brief overview of each of these mythologies, but we're gonna, you know, really intuitively feel into this and apply it to your twin flame journey, right? So the Four of Swords, you're, and it should be no surprise to you, and looking at the card too, but you are experiencing a lot of pain, right? And the point of this pain isn't just suffering, right? The purpose is never just to suffer. That's not what a dark night of the soul is for. That's not what your twin flame journey is for. The point of this is freedom, right? The pain didn't just come out of nowhere. It didn't just, you know, like it didn't just come into being in this lifetime. Like, you're on the twin flame journey because you've chosen somewhere within to heal. Right? You've chosen love somewhere within. And when you've made that choice, the things that do not align with love come up. And so anywhere where pain and suffering have been stored in your consciousness, they come up in their turn, in their order to heal, right? And so sometimes we come across a dark night of the soul, which just feels very painful. It feels like helpless, like we can't go anywhere, like no, you know, being tied down in the card, being tied up. And it feels like on some level we know we're perpetuating our own pain, right? And some people get caught in this loop. You might even be in here of like kind of using the spiritual work to like emphasize your suffering or make it even more so, right? Like punishing yourself with the spiritual work. Like, for example, you might know this is happening because of a specific trauma you have, or because of a specific pattern that you've been working through your whole life, but you're not giving yourself compassion for it. Instead, you're making yourself feel bad about it. You're being down on yourself, or you're really, maybe, and I feel like this next one is more accurate for most of you, you're digging your heels into the pain, right? You're attaching to the pain, giving the pain meaning instead of embracing, like healing it, right? And some of you might be thinking, well, I am choosing to heal it. But if you're really, if your heart is just really feeling stuck on the pain, that means part of you is attached to it, right? It's not moving because there's an attachment here. You're trying to give it meaning. And if you know in the Four of Swords, right, you have the tool you need to free yourself. You have the tool you need to transcend like the helplessness, right, of the situation, the direness of it. You have the swords, right? You are able to free yourself. But it's a matter of using those correctly, right? Of using those tools to free yourself correctly. So instead of like giving your energy and your attention to the drama of the dark night of the soul and to the drama of the twin flame journey, which I think a lot of people do, because that's what society trains you to do, is to give attention to drama and give your energy to drama and like pain and really dig into it and try to find a bad guy in the situation. You need to give your energy to completely loving yourself and committing to finding peace in this situation, right? Like the divine perspective of this is that you have everything you need and you are able at any given time to transcend this, right? And don't take what I'm saying and use it to like, you know, further make yourself feel bad like the wolf is in the picture. Don't sit there and be like, well, why am I not transcending it? You know, like, well, I must not know how to, and I must be the special one who's stuck in pain, and my situation is very unique, and, you know, I guess I'm doing something wrong on the journey. Like, don't turn it into that, right? Like, take what I'm saying and begin to integrate it as a truth, right? Because it is a truth, and many people on earth, I can't speak for everyone, but we're going to say the majority of the population doesn't really understand what divine truth is when it's presented in front of you, okay? In such a way, right? And the divine truth is you do have power. You can transcend anything, and it's okay to really accept that. And as you begin to accept this, then you'll be able to see the situation properly that has caused the dark night of the soul, and be able to free yourself from it, be able to truly heal yourself. Yeah, that feels complete. Yeah, there's a choice here with this card, right? And the choice is, am I going to stay here? Am I going to accept this pain as the reality of my twin flame relationship? Or am I going to choose to move through it? Am I going to choose that love is real? And love is like, power comes from peace and from love. And that I do have the power to fully heal here, to fully find peace. Like, am I going to put my energy into that or into the pain, right? That's the choice that lies in this card, like in how you're going to see it. Are you going to see it divinely, or are you going to see this through ego? Okay. And that might be kind of difficult to sit with, but it is what it is, right? Like that's what healing is. So now we're going to move into your twin flame and what your twin flame is moving through. And we have the Queen of Swords underneath here. And I believe this is related to the Turnadot. Hold on, let me find her name. Yeah, this is related to the Chinese folklore of Turnadot, or the Arabic folklore, excuse me. And so if you know that, then you can apply your knowledge of Turnadot to this card and really revealing what is in there for you. Otherwise, we're going to look at this archetype that Turnadot is representing, right? This Queen of Swords. And if you see her, one, she's like a very exacting figure. And two, there's also a sense of like vengefulness or brutality here. For me, when I read swords on the twin flame journey, swords are inviting a truth to come in, okay? What your twin flame is experiencing, they are upset too, right? Like that's, I guess that's the short of it, right? They are upset too. And this doesn't mean you need to take their upset personally and you need to make yourself feel bad because your twin flame is upset about the situation too. Don't do that, okay? That's not a good use of your time and energy. That doesn't actually, help you feel better. Instead, you need to mirror what your twin flame is showing you, right? Your twin flame might be feeling a little self-righteous and a little bit bitter, and just, yeah, like almost like they need to protect themselves from further hurt, right? And that's okay. Like, you don't have to take that personally. And I'm not saying you did hurt your twin flame. I'm saying this is what your twin flame is experiencing on some level, right? And so the lesson your twin flame is learning right now is they're finding what true peace is, right? Like, they're finding what true accountability is here in this dark night of the soul. They're finding the parts of this situation that they have to truly hold themselves accountable for, in order for them to really heal and move forward too. Because part of them is wanting to point the finger at other people or you as being the issue, but that's never the way, right? And your twin flame is moving through some intense emotions too, and is finding the truth here. And the truth, like their destiny is to find the truth, right? Their truth is that, it's very similar. Your twin flame, so it is very similar to you, is that they have power, right? And they protect themselves by loving themselves, not by putting up walls or, trying to have revenge or being bitter. It's through love, right? Their truth happens through love, and they can only see themselves and see you clearly through love too, right? And, as you hear what your twin flame is kind of moving through as well, I want you to know that you don't have to worry about your twin flame healing, because twin flames heal as one. They heal together. They heal simultaneously, okay? So all you ever have to do is worry about how you feel in the situation and healing what you feel in your experience. And as you do that, your twin flame is doing the same thing, right? It might look different on the outside than you, because you are unique people and you have different ways of, healing and processing and learning at this point in your journey, especially while you're not quite yet in harmonious union, but it's still happening all the same on a soul level, right? So when you make the choice to really do your inner work here and to heal through this dark night of the soul and all these bad feelings that are coming up, your twin flame is too, right? So don't worry about their whatever ick they're moving through right now. Like, you can have an awareness of it, and now you might, but that doesn't have to be your primary focus. Your primary focus is always you and moving through the healing you need in order to really truly love yourself and find peace here, okay? Just know your twin flame is on their own journey and is finding the truth for him or herself as well, okay? So we are going to do the final card. This is like the medicine you're looking for, and it's a really beautiful card. So we have the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands is going to point to the Sanskrit poem of Mohini, and I think we pronounce it Aravan. I totally apologize if I'm butchering any of these. So if you have knowledge of that, I definitely want you to draw on that energy and feeling as you process this card for yourselves, okay? So the medicine here for you, I want to tap a little bit deeper into this. Yeah, the medicine here for you is you really, this is a simple message. It's for you to really relax into your oneness with your twin flame, right? Like there is not separation between you and your twin flame. I think there's a part of you, maybe a big part of you, maybe a small part of you, that really believes your twin flame is off, like making entirely different choices than you. But that's just not real. That's not true. Okay. Your twin flame, like I said earlier, makes the same core choices as you, and you are one. And I think maybe the reason some people resist this is because they don't want to confront what their twin flame has shown them. Because, you know, in this dark night of the soul period, your twin flame might have shown you some really hard things to see about where your heart is at right now, and where your union is at right now. But you really need to release any judgment there, and any arrogance too, any spiritual arrogance, and just be willing to humble yourself and move through what they're mirroring to you. Because you know, no one on this planet right now is perfectly ascended, right? We all have things to work through. We all have what I call as a coach upsets to work through on our journey, things that aren't loving. And it's really simple to just bring that back into alignment with love. But if you're unwilling to acknowledge what your twin flame is showing you, if you're unwilling to acknowledge your union, right, your spiritual marriage, your oneness, your unity to your twin flame, then you're not really going to progress forward, right? And I think a lot of people come to this journey and they're very sure that they, you know everything about twin flames, or they know everything about inner work and spirituality. And you might know a lot. You probably do know quite a bit. But the truth is like a twin flame ascension is a fast track of ascension, and it's one where you need to be really humble to what's being shown to you, and empty your cup. Because if your twin flame is showing you that you're betraying yourself, right? If your twin flame has betrayed you, right? The mirror of that is they're showing you that you betrayed yourself. Then you have to be willing to take responsibility there, right? And that doesn't mean you take responsibility for your twin flame's actions. It means you take responsibility for that place within you where you're triggered by betrayal, right? Because on some subconscious level, you believe betrayal is real, right? There isn't love there, and that's why you can experience betrayal. Okay, or insert whatever. Maybe it's abandonment. Maybe it's some form of emotional whatever kind of abuse, right? Or disrespect. If your twin flame is showing you those things, like from that spiritual perspective, you need to really take responsibility there. And if you're not willing to be humble and empty your cup, I don't know what to tell you. It's not going to work out. You have to be humble and empty your cup, and understand, like, this isn't this doesn't happen by chance. What you're experiencing is a direct result of something in your consciousness, right? Something you have accepted energetically and allowed to exist in your consciousness. And it's in your twin flame consciousness too, because you share one consciousness, right? So if you accept betrayal or abandonment or disrespect or manipulation or just like mean words being said to you, right, then your twin flame is gonna, you know, trigger that and show that to you, and you are the only person who can acknowledge where that's happening within you and be willing to bring love there instead, right? Not berate yourself, not be hard on yourself, not feel bad about yourself, not be, you know, resentful to other people about it, but to love yourself, right? But in order to do those things, you have to empty your cup and accept you and your twin flame are one. If they are running away, you are running away too, right? You're running away from yourself, right? If your twin flame has chosen to be with another person, it's because you're not choosing to be with yourself, right? Not entirely, at least. Some part of you is not 100% in it here with you right now, okay? And that's okay. Like, you, once again, don't feel bad about it. Just love yourself there, okay? And if you're like, how do I even do that? Then, you know, you need to look in the links below and book a consultation with me, and we'll talk about it, okay? But, like, you have to have a willingness here to accept that you're one, and that you are already in union with your twin flame, and you're experiencing that union with your twin flame right now. And if that union looks like abandonment or betrayal or disrespect, that's because that is what's coming to the surface in your consciousness to be healed and to let go of permanently, right? And that is what twin flame ascension is like permanently releasing your blocks to love within. So you are expanding in love from within and in complete union with love from within. And it's in that place that your permanent harmonious twin flame union lives, right? So, yeah, that card, I said it was a simple message, and it is a simple message, but I'm very impassioned about it, because it's so key, right? That piece is so key to really moving through this healing. Yeah, and you can move through it. I do highly, highly recommend support, and not just because I am a coach, but because I've watched people who have walked the twin flame journey without support, and I've watched people who've walked it with support. And there's a big difference, guys. Big difference in the two experiences. You are made to have support, and true spirituality isn't something that you just, you need guidance, right? Like, yeah, you have power within you, but we're not on earth because we're already all-knowing, right? We're on earth to learn, and we learn from each other in love, right? And you have blind spots, and you have deeper places to go, and you can go by yourself and take the staircase to heaven, or you can, go with your community and your brothers and sisters in divinity who love you and take the rocket ship to heaven, and either way, like, oh man, like, you can do it, right? Like, do it in this lifetime, guys. Like, get support, love yourself, empty your cup, be humble, be willing to learn, embrace your innocence, like, love completely, a harmonious union for all. Okay, if you got something from this video, go ahead and give it a like. I hope to see you one day. Come across my calendar in a consultation. Otherwise, you can check out personal readings below too, and I will see you next time.